I'm letting you in on a real gem right now, so please do not let this one go over your head. In fact, if you take just one thing from this episode, this is the one you need to lock in on. Welcome to the Personal Development Blueprint, the podcast that's all about leveling up and helping you become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Jay Cope. Join me as we talk about different tools and strategies to help you navigate through everyday life, creating a blueprint for your personal growth. Let's get into it. Welcome back. Ladies and fellas, what if I told you that the key to leveling up your life is not just about working harder, but understanding those invisible forces that's running the show in your mind? Truth is, your subconscious mind, the part of your brain you rarely think about, is calling most of the shots. But what if you could reprogram it to work for you instead of against you? In today's episode of the Personal Development Blueprint, we'll be talking about the relationship between conscious and the subconscious mind. Then I'll talk about a powerful technique that you can use to reprogram your subconscious. And if you really want to reshape your mind without using a lot of effort, then stick around for the bonus tip at the end. This is actually my go-to method for reprogramming, and it's super easy. I'm talking a 5-year-old can do it. Let's get started with the conscious mind. This is your everyday thinker. It's responsible for logic, decision-making, and short-term memory. Think of it as the gatekeeper to your subconscious. Here's the catch. The conscious mind is always busy trying to figure out what's happening around you. You know, the words you hear, the thoughts you repeat, even the beliefs that you entertain. It's all data that your conscious mind feeds to the subconscious. Now, if you would have grew up in the house with me, you would have learned real quick that I was not a morning person. Or at least this is what I always told myself for as long as I can remember. I hated getting up in the morning, and that carried off into my adulthood. I hated it because that's what I told myself over and over and over. I programmed my subconscious to believe that. And it wasn't until recently, and I mean recently, did I become okay with getting up in the mornings. I do 5 a.m. gym sessions. And the only thing that changed how I felt about mornings was what I told myself about mornings. I started telling myself I am a morning person. And I ain't gonna lie, it took me a while before I actually started believing this, but I just kept repeating it anyway. I mean, I ain't had nothing to lose. And to this day, I still tell myself that I am a morning person, and my subconscious now believes this. Not because I'm this super militant dude that's just disciplined out this world, but because I kept telling myself this until I programmed my subconscious mind to believe it. There's a quote by another one of my favorite personal development guys, Earl Nightingale. Now, this guy, he was around back in like the 1940s, so this stuff has actually been around for a long time. And he said, whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. When you become aware of your thoughts, you start taking control of what gets planted in your subconscious. So if you want a life filled with abundance, confidence, and success, you got to start consciously affirming it, aka repeating it to yourself. So next up, let's talk a little bit more about the subconscious mind, the silent operator. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Your subconscious mind does not know right from wrong. What do I mean by this? It basically goes by what the conscious mind tells it. So whether you're telling yourself positive affirmations or harmful lies, the subconscious mind will believe it, and then it'll adjust your actions accordingly. I read this book called Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It was a great read, by the way. This book actually had one of the biggest impacts on my life. And he goes in depth on self-image, and he talks a lot about conscious and subconscious. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below of the physical book. And if you're a person that don't always have time to sit down and read, I'll drop a link in the description to the free audiobook. Free 99. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. In this book, he told a story that was a good example of how the subconscious mind does not know right from wrong. And it goes by what you tell it and believe. He said, imagine that you was in the woods and you saw a bear. Now, what's the first thing you're going to think? Now, I'm speaking for myself, and I probably could be speaking for you too. I'd be scared out this world. I'm talking adrenaline will probably be pumping, heart racing. I'd be trying to get out of Dodge. Now, imagine if that bear wasn't real, right? But you didn't know it, though. You didn't know it. So let's say that there was a person actually dressed in the bear suit, and you walking through the woods and you saw that same bear. Guess what? You're going to experience those same type of emotions. You're going to be scared out of this world, heart racing, pumping, and you're going to be trying to get out of Dodge. The subconscious mind does not know right from wrong. It goes by what you tell it and believe. Now, you told the subconscious that the bear was real, even in the fake situation. So even though the bear was fake, you felt the same feelings associated with it. You know, scared out your mind, adrenaline pumping. This is why things like self-doubt, procrastination, or fear a lot of times feel automatic. Those are running off of a programmed subconscious, things we've been telling ourselves over and over. I'm not good enough. I don't feel like it. I can never do that. Just different stuff that we tell ourselves. But I got good news. You can rewrite the script. Here's a few things that can help you on the journey. Practice intentional self-talk. Repeat some positive affirmations to yourself on a regular. And I got 5 that you can write down. I'm also leave these in the description below. That way you don't have to pause the episode. You can just grab them once the episode is over. And they are, I am worthy. I am confident. I am capable. I am healthy. And I am grateful. I know it might sound silly at first, but once you keep practicing, the results that you're going to see, unbelievable. And you don't have to say them out loud either. Just repeat them to yourself if you're worried about people looking at you just randomly saying stuff out loud. If your subconscious is like a fertile garden, what seeds are you planting? This is something to think about. Are they weeds or wildflowers? One of my favorite quotes is, if you hang around 5 successful people, it's a good chance that you'll become the 6th. Now, this can go the opposite way, too. If you hang around 5 negative people, it's a good chance you can become the 6th. So just be intentional and surround yourself with people, books, and media that reinforce the message that you want to believe. Now, before we jump into our 3rd strategy, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like there was an invisible ceiling holding you back? No matter how hard you work, what if you could shatter that ceiling without extra effort, just by tweaking one simple thing? Now, before you think I'm just yapping, stick with me, because we're about to uncover a technique that's going to completely change how you think about reprogramming your subconscious mind. Now, let's unlock this next level strategy. Visualization. But not just any visualization. This is about matching clear mental images with strong emotions. But why does this work? The subconscious mind thrives on 2 things. And remember this: repetition and emotion. Visualizing your goals as if they already happened, and then feeling the joy, the pride, or the confidence that comes with those feelings. Emotions are key. You actually training your subconscious mind to look for ways to make it real. And if you're looking for a more in-depth guide on how to get started with visualization, we got an episode with some really easy to follow steps. So whether you're brand new to visualization or you want to brush up on your current techniques, I think you will really benefit from that episode. I'll drop a link in the description. I got an exercise for you. Take 5 minutes in the morning or the night, either one, to visualize one goal, just one. I want you to see it, feel it, hear it, use your senses, and don't worry about fully believing it right now. Over time, this practice, it starts to reprogram your mind to align your actions and your decisions with your vision. Now, finally, I did promise you a bonus tip at the beginning of the episode. I'm letting you in on a real gem right now, so please do not let this one go over your head. In fact, if you take just one thing from this episode, this is the one you need to lock in on. Did you know you can reprogram your subconscious while you sleep? I was a little shocked when I found this out too. This is when the conscious mind is also sleeping. Remember, we said the conscious mind is the gatekeeper. And when you sleep, that gatekeeper decides to take a nap. You know, they got to rest sometimes too. And this is where you make your move. Your subconscious is always active, even when your conscious mind is resting. This is what you do. Choose an audiobook or a guided affirmation that aligns with the mindset that you want to develop. You know, YouTube, they got a lot of free ones. I like to pull this up on my TV. You want to turn it up just enough for you to hear it. Now, don't expect this to work overnight because we all know that great things take time, and it's going to take your personal development to the next level without even putting in a lot of effort, man. That's a win-win. And over time, your subconscious starts to absorb the messages, and that starts to reflect in your beliefs and your actions. You're going to be walking different. You're going to be moving different, thinking different. But once you get those two, the beliefs and the actions, you start to see it in your reality. I swear it's like magic. Why does this work? Well, by now you should understand that the subconscious mind is like a sponge, especially during those deep sleep cycles when the conscious mind is not standing guard at the gate. You know, you get to slip past and drop information right into your subconscious mind. Change your subconscious and you'll change your life. Key. If this episode resonated with you, here's the next step. I want you to start small. Practice being mindful of your self-talk. You know, watch your words. And tonight, find you an audiobook or affirmation to listen to while you sleep. I want to hear some of y'all thoughts on this topic too. You know, we actually have a new feature where you can send a text message into the show. Just click the link in the description and share your biggest takeaway from today's episode. Let's keep this conversation going. You might even hear your comment in a future episode. Also, share the love, y'all. If you know somebody that's looking to level up, share this episode with them. It's a lot of gems in here. Let's build this blueprint for personal development together. See you in the next episode. Thanks for joining us on the Personal Development Blueprint. We appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you picked up a nugget or two to supercharge your personal growth journey. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. I would love to hear some of your feedback. And remember, every little win counts on the road to becoming the best version of yourself. So stay focused, keep pushing forward, and you'll keep leveling up. Key.